side dish. It's me, Doug. Whoa!
And your sound works.
Apparently. Hello, Bing. Yeah, the sound works. Jeez, a little bit too good. Sorry for that. All right. So, took a break last week. Unfortunately, we're going to take another live break next week. I'll be in Grey Eagle camping and going to golf camp, which is just camping and golfing for 3 days. But
just camping and golfing
and drinking
and
eating
debauchery
and debauchery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. So we're going to be doing some dips. Tonight, though, is a very special night. Tonight is my brother Terrence's Harry. He has the right stuff. There it is. Anyways, it's his birthday, and if my math is correct, 74 to 2021 was that 47? Oh man, you're so old. So I contacted him and said, "Oh hey, what do you want? What's your favorite side dish?" And he was like, pasta salad. And this is a very specific pasta salad that my sister-in-law Jessica makes for him. So I don't know. We're just gonna do some chopping. We're gonna do some chatting. We're gonna do some drinking. Tonight we're gonna make a limoncello martini with limoncello and gin and lemon juice and a little bit of mint. And and then we're gonna see what happens after that. And I think we're gonna be doing we're just having pasta salad and dips for dinner
and drinks.
Because by the time we do 2 episodes, which we're going to film the other one tonight as well, it'll be too late to make any dinner. So, all right. So let's just get crack-a-lacking here. I should say that this is going to also be made with it's like a lemon parsley vinaigrette. So I was going to do a honey mustard vinaigrette because he said that he likes Italian dressing and honey mustard. But then I was like, nah, I'm not going to mix those two. I know you can do it, but I think this will be better. So let's a bunch of vegetables: celery, cucumber, some carrots, a red bell pepper, half of this onion, and some of these stalks of broccoli, which we're going to chop. And then apparently a secret ingredient, it's frozen peas. So we're going to, I took these out. These have been thawing. So they're nice and bright and green, and they're going to be delicious.
What were you looking at? Because you're not looking at the camera.
What are you talking about?
What were you just looking at?
I don't know.
Okay, well, look at the camera.
Well, the camera is like to my left now, so it's I feel like I'm looking this way. Doesn't matter. Here we go. So
he's getting to be a diva, folks.
It's not being a diva. Just move the camera on me. So. We're going to chop these up. So in the interest of chatting, so we were in Boston last week. Actually just got back, Thursday night. We're in San Francisco for an evening. And then we drove back yesterday. So it was a very exciting, very fun trip. We traipsed all around Boston, literally. So we did more walking that trip than we've done, I don't know, in a long, long time, right? So, what did you think?
Yeah, it was a lot of walking. It was fun. It's the birthplace of America. I mean, the American Revolution. It's pretty amazing.
There was a lot
to walk in the halls where Benjamin Franklin, the Adams presidents, Alexander Graham Bell. We stayed in a hotel that is the oldest running hotel in Boston.
In America.
In America, and the birthplace of the Boston cream pie.
It is. And if our friend John, he really likes Boston cream pie. He has that for his birthday instead of a regular cake, which really, Boston cream pie is a misnomer, if you ask me.
Yeah, it is a cake.
It's a cake with a custard filling with a chocolate on the top. So
So one thing we noticed,
yes,
and I gave Denise this quiz. She failed miserably, but it's okay.
I did not. I failed.
Said, if you were to have like a really good chocolate sauce. If you were to put chocolate sauce on something on the West Coast, whose chocolate sauce would it be?
Ghirardelli, probably.
Yeah. What do they put on the East Coast?
That I'm not sure.
Hershey's.
Yeah, that's right.
Every other Boston cream pie we had
Hershey's PA.
Hershey's
Yeah,
syrup
it
on
was
it.
right there. We went to a Bruins and Rangers game, which was really fun. The Bruin, didn't they lose that one? Because
They did,
They
yes.
came back at the end. But it was still fun.
It's a preseason game, so they just do an automatic
shootout.
Yeah. Just for practice. So that was fun too.
Yeah, that was really fun. And there was really nobody. I mean, there was a lot of people there, but they were spread out. And so they we were sitting in the middle of the ice, kind of up, row 15 or something like that. There were nice seats.
Yeah, preseason you can get good seats for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
Once the season starts, you're much harder.
Yeah.
Much more expensive.
Well, and the closest we have, really, we do have the Golden Knights here. But
That's
they're
not
out of
close, though.
Vegas.
San Jose.
San
Sharks.
Jose, yeah, is closer, exactly.
Which, by the way, San Jose Sharks have amazing fans. They're so nice. But I would say that the Boston fans were awesome.
Yeah, everybody was. That night was really great. It was our first night in town. We had flown overnight. Oh man, what an ordeal that was. Now, let's not get too sorry for us because we did fly first class, but
I still could not sleep.
Yeah, we couldn't sleep. And then we got to our hotel.
And our flight had been changed like 3 times. So
Yeah.
we were not supposed to have this red eye arrive at 6 a.m. flight.
Yeah. And then we got to the hotel and we were talking to the overnight crew, which apparently the overnight crew does not talk to the day crew because they said, oh, okay, well, just pre-check in and we'll put your key, when we're ready, we'll put your keys up. And we are dog tired. All of us are dragged.
We tried though. We made a good effort to go and do some sightseeing.
So
we ended up at that place. What was that place?
The Elephant in the Crown, which I was
No, Castle.
Oh yeah, Elephant in the Castle. And it was like a traditional, when I don't know, I've never been to England, but it was a really cool pub. I would say it was probably in the vein of a Irish, of a English pub.
And since we're from Nevada, we forget that places sometimes have rules about when they serve alcohol.
Yeah.
So you can't have an Irish coffee or a Bloody Mary until 8.
True.
Oh, that's silly.
I know, kind
It
of
was
stunk.
silly, and the thing that was crazy is we could eat. Well, at first we couldn't have breakfast. We couldn't have something at first, and then it was like, okay, now you can eat too. It was weird, but we went back because they had traditional meat pies that were really, really good. I thought we got the mini ones and we shared those. So
Yeah, the fillings were delicious.
yeah, they used phyllo dough instead of a traditional crust.
Yeah, that's the part I didn't love, but the filling was really good.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't really like that either. So
I liked the place though; it was fun.
yeah, it was really cool looking, and they were all nice in there. As people are nice, and that's one thing we were talking about. You think a big city is not going to be friendly, but we were looking for something. We had a general direction we knew we had to be in, and we had gone that place before. But we had gotten turned around, and we were looking at a city map that they had for was it trains? I think it was, or something.
What are you? I don't know what you're talking
And
about.
this
You're
gal-
talking about when we met Esther?
No, that was when it was just a gal on the street says, "What are you looking for?"
Oh yeah.
And then-
Yeah. Everybody helped.
Yeah,
It was good.
but then there's this place we went and had breakfast at. And it's called Buttermilk and Bourbon. I know the combination
So
doesn't
good.
sound great, but you can get a great drink there, and
And they make homemade biscuits. That's why it's buttermilk.
it's unbelievable. The food there.
Look at the difference in the color as you are peeling those carrots.
Sure.
It's amazing.
I love these kinds of kind of fresh. I guess fresh is a sort of stretch here, but Anyways, the ones with the tops on them, I think they're like more orangey and like they definitely have a nice big bright color today. So.
Hey, off topic, but you know what they have? They have a farmer's market at Harvard
That's true. We did go to Harvard
on the
too.
campus. Isn't that cool?
Do they tell students?
They don't sell students. They sell fresh produce and there was a fishmonger,
Yeah, I mean it was
Great for the students.
right?
It was. I mean
This
that
is
was like,
awesome.
we were
Or even
talking-
the faculty.
So they had a couple food trucks, and then they had like the whole like farmers market, and
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It was really cool.
And their dining commons, which I only got a little peeky peek in,
Looks like Hogwarts, right?
totally looks like
Yeah.
Hogwarts. So awesome.
I mean, we got the thing that it's hard to.
That place is pretty amazing.
We also went to MIT, which was the complete opposite of Harvard.
So sterile.
It was much, yeah. I mean, for the premier like scientific like college, but it was really,
So
it
sterile.
was like being. I mean, it was interesting. Don't get me wrong, but
Not my favorite place though.
the buildings. It literally looked like how do I put this? If you've ever seen sort of like a typical like city in a movie that's supposed to be droll and very factory like, that's what it reminded me.
Yeah, totally.
No real. It was like
They have what is supposed to be a pretty quad, but damned if we could find
we
it.
couldn't. Yeah, we couldn't. We traipsed around. We could not find it.
We tried, but we couldn't find it.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I mean, I guess that I don't know, and this is going to sound like me making a stereotype of the people who are attending there, but like they're high IQ nerds. They like to. If my experience with other high IQ nerds that I've dealt with, friends of mine, they also like to be inside. So some people, it's not all of them, but I do think it was really an interesting sort of dichotomy to go to both places in one day.
It really was like how different they are.
And it was really interesting to see like the populations in terms of like, we didn't see a ton of people out in MIT, I thought. Did you? I mean,
Well, Boston in general has just like pretty recently, opened up
Yeah.
because we were supposed to go in March.
Yep.
And things weren't open yet. And still, a lot of like the museums and things are only open like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And a lot of stuff that was normally free, like a lot of the historical things that used to be free are no longer free.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's because they're trying to recoup some of the lost, tourism dollars,
I think
which
so.
makes sense. But
Well, and the other thing too is like when we were on Harvard, it was really interesting. And I don't know if this is a normal thing or not, if it's COVID measures, but
you couldn't go in.
you couldn't go into any buildings, and so like I was really curious about like what kind of technology it had, working in IT and all, and we couldn't go in and see any buildings really, and
I feel like though, like had we had a better plan, we could have, called in advance and gotten some passes or something
Yeah.
to get us in places. But it was just kind of on a whim that we even
well,
went. So.
Well, the cool thing about Boston, just like New York, is they have a really good public transit in terms of the MTA. And I could not sing MTA by
I was gonna say.
the Kingston Trio every time we went down there. And I kept asking where Scully Square Station is so that I could.
It's again America's first.
Yeah.
So America's first everything.
Yeah, it's really,
So
really,
awesome.
really kind of a cool. I really liked the vibe of Boston too. For me, it felt like a big city, but at the same time, and I know we're in a pandemic, and I know that there's not as many
It
people.
was homey though.
But it
was
was
a homey big city.
But I will say, after we got out of breakfast at Bourbon, Buttermilk and Bourbon, we were walking down, and this was sort of the more hoity-toity part.
It is. It's Back Bay, and it's it's a very upscale neighborhood.
And I got to tell you, we met this interesting woman, and she said,
Awesome.
and she stopped us, or we were stopped and we were talking, and she overheard.
She offered help.
Yeah, and then she said, "Well, what are you looking for?" And the best part is that she said, "I'm not from here. I just live here." And then we find out that she's lived there for 50 years.
But she's from New York.
Yeah. So, and she continues to be from New York. Her name was Esther Wiseman.
Yeah.
She was a very interesting, very knowledgeable person.
I think it's pronounced Weissman.
Weissman. And
Psychologist.
She's a psychologist.
But a former elementary school teacher.
2nd grade.
3rd grade.
Which she hated, she said. But one of her claim to fame is that she's single by choice, and that she promotes singleness, as a valid, alternative to coupling up and, getting married and stuff like that. She said she was interested. She really wanted us to know that was her shtick. And
I wouldn't call it a shtick. It was like a life philosophy.
Yeah. And she said, it's not that she's never had a partner, but she just never has gotten married.
Yeah.
And so she was just an interest that, was one of those.
She took us on basically she pointed us in the right direction, and then she walked with us, and she told us about the architecture and the history of the neighborhood. Showed us some great spots for, architectural interests.
She showed us this amazing building that was a castle, basically. Chateau. And apparently Tom Brady lived there with his first wife, Michelle Monahan. And we're not sports fans by any means. So, Leno is, but we didn't care.
But there were beautiful chandeliers hanging in the conservatory, which has been remodeled into the kitchen.
It looked like,
and just gorgeous. And it was really fun to meet her. I wish that we had not just eaten, because we could have gone and had a meal with her and gotten to know her more, but.
Yeah, she was an interesting, and I don't know if it's just, Amy has a teachable face, right? And that's when, if you're in a class, if she's in a class or in a lecture or something, people speak to her. It's just something that happens. And I think, she heard us talking and knew we were from out of town, because obviously we didn't have a Boston accent or anything. And she's wanted to talk to people. And I was like, that's cool. And she was an interesting person. And
Super.
So, you gotta, again, I think it's one of the things that we've been saying is keep yourself open to meeting people, and don't be afraid of saying hello, especially in a big city. That's one of the things that we've learned in our travels is people in big cities, no matter, we were in New York City and we took a taxi to Brooklyn, and being from the West Coast, we didn't understand the way the streets crossed, be numbers and letters, and we got into Brooklyn, and
I don't think we were even in Brooklyn. I think we're in the wrong part of the city altogether.
We weren't even close to where we were supposed to be. But the point is that when we got there, we obviously looked like lost puppies, because the people who was living in the house of which we were standing in front of, they came out and were doing something at their car, which is always weird to me. People will have cars, but when you live in one of the boroughs, it's either public transit or you have a car into the island of Manhattan. And anyways, he's like, "Do you need some help?" And at first we were like,
we refused.
We refused because we're dummies. We thought, we'll just call the people we were supposed to be going to and get a better bearing of what we had done. We were on the right street, but we were I wouldn't say way, but we were a good
We were too far to walk.
Yeah. And so he's like, "You know what? Let me call you a car." And then he goes, "Tell me where you're supposed to be."
And we're like, no. And then he's like, "No, I've called you a car."
And then he paid for it.
Yeah, he's like, "It's already paid for. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just tell him where you need to go."
A complete stranger to two people,
Isn't
obviously.
that nice?
And it's like, I think about that often. That's, again, the theme that we go for on the show is kindness, right? And doing things for people. And that's one of those things that sticks with me a lot, and we use as a model.
Well, I think it really has stuck with us because, that was
long time ago.
A lot of years ago, and we still hold that as our model for traveling.
Exactly. And so, I think you gotta, and then that's like kind of do that around these parts when we're, there's a lot of tourists here right now in Sparks area, and so you want to be able to help them out. So,
Okay, so people in the chat, what's the best place to visit? Where are the friendliest people that you've been?
I mean, this trip really proved that the people we dealt with, and
You think people in Boston have been the kindest so far?
I don't know. It's hard to quantify something like that. And the reason I say
Where's the kindest people you've been?
Yeah. Found them out. No, I'm just kidding.
Mexico?
I mean, again, I think that if you look.
Oh, Kib says China, Thailand, and France.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, my mom said the French were really.
we've never traveled
Polite.
abroad.
Really good?
I mean,
Yeah.
other than to
No.
Mexico, but we've never been outside the States in terms of like Europe.
I've never been outside of North America.
Yeah, there
And
we
I
go.
haven't been to a lot of places in the States, so.
Oh, that reminds me, we get to mark Massachusetts off.
I totally just threw away the thing I didn't want to throw away. That's fun. That's again.
Just rinse it.
I'm going to. I got to cut this part off that I actually wanted to. I mean, it just went in on top of the other vegetable.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, I think that's. I mean, I think in general, you just look sort of for people, and if people look for us. I don't know. Again, I think people look.
You just
for
look kind of helpless, and people help you.
Yeah. But we're also the people who will stop somebody and just, hey, are we in the right area? And most of the time people go, no,
No.
you
No, you
were
were
not
not.
completely. But then once we did it once, like in our New York trip, we went back for my godson's baptism, and then we were staying with our friends' parents in Brooklyn in their brownstone, and we went around and like we just tropped around. We didn't have a destination other than the Brooklyn Museum. Really, that was the only place we wanted to go to. And then, but even when we went into the city, I think once we just got up. We knew that there was a train station nearby and got on it. And the Boston subway is really easy to navigate too. I mean, it was like there's red line, there's green line, there's blue line, and yellow line, I think, or something like that. And so, you just
It's very simple.
yeah. You just get off. There's some places that cross over, but
I mean, like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to miss your exit or your station, and you're going to get off on the next one and have to backtrack a few blocks. Not that big.
I mean, and as much as I complained about walking, it was really nice to see some of the stuff that we saw. But I mean,
We walked the Freedom Trail,
yeah, that was really cool to see. I mean, it's like
and we went to Salem.
we took a ferry to Salem, which was really cool. And then we walked. Then there was like a trolley tour that was really fun too.
Yeah.
And so like
And we went to most of the neighborhoods, I think.
yeah. Now, so according to Jessica, she does something called squeezing of these, in which I'm
What does
not
that
going
mean?
to do because for a time thing. But where we would dice these, and then we would put them on a tea towel, cover them, and then squish them out, and it gets a lot of the liquid out.
Why aren't we doing that?
Because I don't know. I guess we could do it now. I should have started with this then. We're kind of well into it. She just says that over time, what happens is it releases, as it sits in the fridge, it releases liquid.
Yeah.
And so it will, you will sort of be less soupy. So we can do that. if you
Well,
like.
Okay, I've never heard about that, but I like it. I
Yeah.
think you should do it.
Okay. We will do that. We will squeeze out the juices. Well, not all of them, but, she said it when we were conversing over text today, like it was a thing that I should know about. And I let her go on and on and on. And finally, I just had to be like, I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know what you're talking about.
And then, then she brought it back and we, had a better idea.
Okay. I've never heard of that either.
So, a lot of the stuff I'm doing, I don't know if you noticed, I'm doing it, I'm doing a finer dice on some of these. The carrots and the celery and the carrots and celery I kind of did a little bit. I'm going for variation in size to give a little bit different crunching too. Plus, I like the carrots and the other to have a kind of a bigger tube to it. Okay. We have this
What are you doing?
We have this giant island, and
Well, there's the light.
and I'm always rocked to find space. So,
I feel like that's a you problem.
well, I've got this whole side, and then I had stuff over there for the other stuff over here.
Yes, folks, that is a wine barrel full of herbs that we had to bring in from outside because it's getting cold.
It's going to be freezing. We're going to have possible snow this week.
What?
Monday or Tuesday.
It was cold this
Gross.
week. We totally missed it.
So I guess, and Jessica, please correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching here. If this is correct or not, but if it isn't, well, I'm going to do my best approximation of what I think this means. And I'm going to use the big old thing here. Amy has been quite busy decorating for Halloween. We have big plans this year.
Oh, I decorated the holiday tree for Halloween. You can't even tell in the microwave reflection, but it is decorated up.
Again, I don't know if this is right or not, but hey.
Is that really what you're supposed to do? That's weird. I do see moisture coming out of it.
Probably good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, look at all that.
yeah. Smart move, Jess. Nice work.
So smart.
So I'm going to let this sit because she said to let it sit while you chop some of the other stuff. So this is not a medium cucumber, so I'm going to use just about half of this.
That's not a medium? I think that's medium.
You think it was a medium?
Yeah, I think that's medium.
All right. Amy says it's medium, so here we go. All right, let's talk about Terry.
Let's talk about Terry.
So Terry is my older brother. I have two other brothers, Eric and Danny. But Terry and I, it was just the two of us for 3 years. Well, 6 years, really, for him. 3 for me. He's 3 years
I
old.
was like, what? How can it change?
And then, so growing up, we kind of got a lot of hijinks. One time, I'll just give this quick story. One time, I was climbing a tree because we had this tree at our old house growing up. Well, in one of our houses growing up, and I climbed it, and it was in an old part of Kenai, which is a town we grew up in Alaska, and it was the first time I had gotten past what we called the seatbelt branch because there was 2 branches, and I could sit in one, and it would keep me in place, and I wouldn't fall out.
The seat belt.
Yeah, and I got all the way up to almost the top of the tree, in which, out of nowhere, the wild Terry and a wild Bobby, my cousin, showed up. And now, because it was near the water, there were these old wooden buoys, and they were shaped like little mini footballs. And let me tell you, they were throwing them at me, as you are wont to do, and hit me literally while I was hanging because I had slipped on the branch trying to avoid them, and I'm hanging, and they hit my fingers, and I dropped through all of the tree, and I went like this.
You didn't hit any branches?
Well, no, I did, but it was also.
And it wasn't like that. It was more like boinga, boinga, boinga.
And I fell, and I thought I broke my neck, and so did Terry. But one time, so.
But it didn't scare him enough to stop throwing things.
No, but but I got my revenge. Well, I didn't get revenge. He did this to himself. But we had a little camper trailer that my parents had, and somehow he was in there because he thought he was going to scare me. And he went into the closet, and it locked, and he couldn't get out of the closet. And it was not a very, very big closet, and I was none the wiser that he was in there waiting for me because, he didn't make any noise or whatever. And then I'm out there, and I remember very clearly because my dad.
He says this is one of the most terrifying times of his life, so don't make light of this.
It's not. I'm not making light of it, but I'm just saying I was out.
Also, he said you were fine when you fell out of the tree.
Yeah, I know. He always says that. This is also, I was also fine when we were playing baseball, and the bat came around, and I got hit in the ear and started bleeding out of it. And so, I was fine then too. But no, he was trapped in the closet, and I was out banging on the snowplow that my dad had with a stick because apparently
that's what little boys do.
And then I heard the trailer. He must have heard the banging, and then I heard the camper and him yelling at the top of his lungs and shaking the camper, and he fell out of there crying. And was terrified. He still doesn't. He doesn't like telling that story because of how terrified he was of it. So what's that tell you? Don't get in refrigerators or camper closets that you can't.
Yeah, didn't you guys watch Punky Brewster? Don't you know that?
Yeah. He thought he was
I
going to die.
forgot she got in there.
Yeah. So we got in a lot of hijinks. This was
Terry thought he was going to die in that closet.
This was the 80s in Alaska, so it was really like the 60s because.
It was the 60s in the rest of the world.
It was the 80s in the rest
of the world. In the lower 48.
But in the rest of the world, in Alaska, it was like being in the 80s because literally we disappear for days, I feel like, and then come back home. We always had a good time. One time I blackmailed him for his jean jacket, and I got that jean jacket, so it worked.
Oh, what did he do?
Another time, I got his BB gun, or one of his BB guns, and it was straight out of a John Woo movie, in which I came around the corner with the BB gun, and Terry came around the corner, and I shot it, and it literally went right here, right between the eyes. I should have just given up then and called it victory. I was the best.
Right? Seriously. Drop the mic and walk away.
But apparently that you'll shoot your eye out is more accurate than you think.
Or your brother will shoot your eye out.
Yeah. I also made a bet with him that he wouldn't be a millionaire when he turned 40. I also got that bet because that didn't happen.
Oh, what did you win?
$100.
Did you collect?
Yeah, of course I collected.
When did you collect this?
I don't know.
We were together when he turned 40.
When he was 30. I'm sorry. That's right. He was when he turned 30.
30 changes.
No, I'm sorry. We were together when he turned 30.
That's true. But I didn't collect it. I know I collected it because,
It was 30.
Yeah.
Jan says it was 30, I thought.
Yeah.
I got into our parents' liquor after school. I was so drunk. He bribed me for my jean jacket to not tell. Ooh, you're shit.
Listen, I found him in the bathtub. And water, and it fully clothed. Like he thought that was going to help him somehow. And I was like, I'm not going to tell, but I want your jean jacket. Now, you have to understand the
That
context.
was blackmail.
Because Terry wore a jean jacket and white t-shirt and jeans with the cuffs rolled, and I think
Terry was cool.
Very
Converse.
80s.
And I think it was Converse.
Back in the day.
But no, he wasn't, because I got some other pictures. He was not cool. He was not cool.
Black Converse, he
Yeah.
says.
Oh, yeah. Black Converse, exactly.
Oh, my God.
And that he wore it every day. That whole year.
Whatever, he had a uniform.
Yeah, he
He's like
did.
a little Billy Joel.
Yeah. I don't know.
Uniforms work.
But, yeah. So you can see, pretty close. And, but, he's a good guy, I think. No, I'm just kidding. He is. I love him very much. And I hope that 47 is good as 46 and all the years before. If not, well, there's nothing I can do about that. You're in charge of your own happiness. No.
Amen.
So, but
I think he'd be the first one to tell you that.
he's getting close to retirement, which is, that's pretty cool. He wasn't, he's a firefighter at EMT, and so they get to retire early. Well,
He says, I have a uniform again.
yeah, he does. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure it's equally uncool. So.
You're a turd.
If these are too big of chunks, I don't know, because again, as I said in the description of this video, it is an approximation. he also told me, I said, what's your favorite drink? Because I was going to make a cocktail. And he's like, oh, it's boring. It's Tito's and soda water. And I was like, that is boring.
That is super boring.
So
we're not making that.
We're not making that. We're making limoncello martinis, which we're going to do here shortly before I add anything else.
I have seen this uniform.
Oh, yeah.
Gray pants, black t-shirt, darn tough socks and Vans. Yeah.
Darn tough socks and pants.
Vans.
Cool. Cool. I mean, that's what I think uniform. They let me out of the sweatpants every day. I bought these sweatpants online. They are literally best. So I can't really show you, but I don't know what it was, 1997, I think. Terry bought these shirts.
You could unclip the clips. It's clips.
Oh, yeah. This is why you're a smart one.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm here for, folks.
Being smart and pretty.
Stop it.
Awesome
Stop
all
it.
the time. So he made these shirts that says Terry has the right stuff. And he gave them to us for Christmas. And he thought he was hilarious.
He is hilarious.
But the thing that's cool is I think this might be one of the only Terry
survivors
in existence. Because, Christmas 1999. I knew it was in the 1900s.
Whoa.
So long ago. This shirt is so old.
So old.
This shirt is 20 years old, 22 years old. So, pretty cool. Yeah, so funny. Ha ha ha. Look at me. I'm so clever. I got you all the shirts.
He still has his.
Yeah. I would hope he would have one. Everybody else's, I heard, my good friend Matt, he's a world traveler himself, being a conservation biologist, and his
Jan wrote is not on hers.
Yeah, I think that checks pretty well, given what I know about my siblings. So
It's funny.
Put the ice on there too soon. All right, so we got some ice. We're gonna make.
Wait, what is happening?
I'm making some cocktail.
I don't think you've been talking about what you're putting in there.
I got cucumber and broccoli and everything and all the stuff you saw me chop.
Okay.
And then
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I add the peas, and then now before I add that and I make the vinaigrette, I'm going to make a cocktail because I'm thirsty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're doing cool stuff here. I don't know what means.
I don't know what it means either. We stayed in the Rose Kennedy Suite.
We stayed in
at
a
the
suite.
Parker House.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Suite is a stretch, but
I think it used to be bigger because the door to it, there was a door that was swung open and it had the lock and everything removed from it. And then there were 3 doors. And then 2 doors one went into the bedroom of the suite and one went into the living room.
I told you my theory about that, didn't I?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, my theory is that the room on the left, if you booked it as the family suite, that was another bedroom and bathroom that you could add on to your suite.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so for these, the recipe we have is for a double, but I'm going to split it so I can pour each one and go from there. So we're going to go with, we were really concerned because it said 4 ounces of gin, and we were like, that seems like too much.
I wasn't concerned.
So I would have given you 4 ounces of gin and 3 ounces of limoncello, and that would have knocked you on your butt, so you might have been concerned. Well, we got nothing to do tomorrow. All right, so 2 ounces of gin. And then, again, here's our homemade limoncello. Give it a little spinner here. Does it go up like this? Or does it get a little portion out over this way, too? Nope, that is not true. So 1.5 ounces of this. So it's pretty booze heavy.
Because that's vodka.
Yeah.
That is essentially
So that's
lemon
why,
vodka.
the martini. And then what is a 1/2 ounce of lime or lemon juice?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Freshly squeezed.
6 and 3 mint leaves.
3 mint leaves. Now, do you put these into the drink, or do you do it, or you shake it up with it? It seems like more of a garnish, but I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna shake this up. Get it nice and cool. Get yourself a martini glass.
Put it all in. Strain the cocktail.
Okay.
Garnish as desired with lemon peels, lemon wedges, and mint leaves.
Okay.
You can turn this into a cocktail by adding club soda and serving in a rocks or Collins glass with ice. I had a thing called a banana bread martini, which is in Parker House.
Yeah. So,
Oh my gosh, so good. Oh, so whoa,
don't spill your wine glass.
so good.
Okay, let's make me one.
one little floating mint leaf.
Hey man. Well, my love, I don't know what I'm doing next week. I think we've been over this, so I'm not about making things pretty. I'm making them alcoholic.
That's yummy.
Is it? That's awesome.
Yeah. Uh-oh, is the streaming breaking up for anyone else? Yes.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Well, okay. Is it any better?
Teddy says yes. Jan says yes.
It's
King
getting
was
better.
the one asking the question.
Thank you. I got it on my phone here too, so
Looks better now.
okay, perfect. I'm gonna because I want more. I didn't get as much Jen, so I'm gonna give myself a quarter of a jigger there. And then, how was everybody else? Did you have a nice week while we were off? Did you watch last week's video? Did you like last week's video? What did you know? I liked it. It was fun. That mushroom cream sauce is what we made.
Yeah.
Which was delicious. It really was really good on pork chops that we made. What else? Oh, we made some rice.
When you say it like that, it makes it sound like other things we've made weren't really good and we were just lying to people.
No, I think, well, that might sound like that. And you know what? That is not my intention. How about that?
Good.
Because it was really good, though. Let's put it that way. One of the many.
It's like when you say like, well, this is actually really good. And then people are like, what do you mean actually?
There's actually a show on the internet called Actually, where they do nerd stuff, and they're like, actually, this is what it is.
Mm. Well, I
Ooh,
don't
that
know.
is quite refreshing.
Quite refreshing.
I really like that.
Doug Bookie approved, everybody.
Well, you know, I am the most supportive of that. All right, everybody. So, in order to make this, you could whisk this together, but let's do it easy. So we're going to make the dressing so it can sit a little bit. So what we need is, our cups here. We need half cup of olive oil. Here's my half cup. Preparedness, everyone. This is not open. It is like a circus around here right now, I'll tell you that much. I gotta figure out what to make for this trip. I'm supposed to make something and I don't know what to make, so.
Ribs.
Well, I
Ooh.
might make biscuits because I made biscuits and gravy and everybody, this is not gonna work.
What are you doing, sir?
I'm being crazy is what I'm doing, so. I know that seems like an extra step, and it probably was. I probably would have been fine, but you know, just making dishes. And then I take a quarter cup of this. So I don't have, again, we don't have white wine. but I just have the champagne vinegar, which we've discovered is very similar. I don't know the difference really. And then quarter cup of that. And
1 tablespoon lemon juice. Oh,
salt. Cracked pepper. 1 tablespoon. Tablespoon? You're not seeing the press button on the matrix right now.
well, you're going from the top to the bottom of the recipe. Okay. A tablespoon of freshly chopped parsley and a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes.
How much of the parsley?
A tablespoon.
Oh, that's not very much.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Denise was having to keep Jack company because he seemed like he needed attention.
He did.
Yeah. So where's my hat?
Stop it, Jackie.
Sit.
I had some pears in the tree in here while we were gone, and I thought, no, I don't know what I thought by picking them. I could have just left them, and they probably would find on the tree. But they have fruit flies, so I have to deal with that. I'm going to give this a generous chopping here because I don't want the big, super big.
I think you thought maybe our house sitter would eat them, but they didn't.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Travis, thank you for watching this again. Really appreciate it. Hopefully, it was a jolly old time. I don't know what that means really. Are anybody doing anything fun for Halloween? You know, with COVID, everybody wearing a mask. I mean, Halloween seems like the perfect season. Ted, I know Ted Hoysa on the old stream today. His family goes all out for Halloween a lot. They really like their costumes. Didn't you go as a zit one time, Ted?
Gross.
Was that what it was? Was that a zit? I can't remember. Anyways.
Denise and I were looking at doggy costumes today.
Guess the dog is going to dress up.
Did you get that costume?
I did.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so awesome.
What costume is it?
We're not telling.
Oh, okay. All right. 1 tablespoon, right?
Yep.
I could probably look on my own. Now, and then how much? A quarter?
1/4 teaspoon red pepper flakes.
Now, if you've ever,
I suppose that's to taste, yeah?
if you've watched this show, you know that we probably had this dried red pepper for quite a while. So, and the other thing, one of the reasons I'm actually doing this now, while I do some other stuff, is because I do want some of this to concentrate. Now, so a little secret, you can just emulsifying in a jar.
Oh, you are a weirdo.
Ta-da! We have emulsification. And that'll sit. And before we dress everything, I will, let's get this, let's just put that right there. Why not? Waste not, want not, everyone.
Just kidding. I like it.
I think that's it now. What we're going to do. Now, what I'm going to do is, I could not find the super small, but this is a smaller of the batches that I could find. It's, if you can't find shells, use something that has some.
You can use bow tie.
You could use bow tie. I cooked this and I've let it cool for a couple of hours now. And I'm just, before I go any further, I'm going to
Not
add.
a couple of hours, like an hour.
Oh, I made it like 4 o'clock. I almost tossed this. Did you see that? That was funny. What are you typing in that chat? That I don't know how much time works?
Yep.
So, we're pretty vegetable heavy at the moment, which is.
That's a very green pasta salad.
Yeah.
I hate it.
You hate it. I mean, that
I'm just kidding.
I think is. I like this so far. Smells delicious. I can't wait to have everything. I did put the red pepper in here, right?
I can see you with the towel.
Oh, I haven't done it yet. Thanks, Denise.
Terry said it looks perfect.
Except for, the part where I forgot to put, I'm like, man, it should be more red in here. Okay.
There we go. Look at that though. Look at that. Yeah.
Jessica, you're on to something. All right.
Ew. Teddy did have a zit costume.
Yeah.
That is just
I can't
wrong.
imagine what that looked like.
It was, I believe I've seen a picture, and it's gross.
Well, now the chat's going all wrong because now Jessica said squeeze them with a winky face, meaning the red peppers,
Right.
which was a good idea. And now we're still talking about the zit costumes.
Which really is fair.
Why are you doing the pasta like that?
Why? Because I want to make sure that it doesn't overflow. And I'm
Oh.
mixing everything else, and some of the stuff falls into the cracks of the pasta, and it doesn't go over this giant bowl.
Okay.
So, there is sort of a method to madness
Okay.
most of the time. Not always. Okay, so now, give us some other. What's that? There's a meme where it's like something. Oh, look who's talking to the little girl. Make a real terrible face.
I like that little girl.
I've never seen that.
Have you seen Look Who's Talking?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I know that was not ceremonious at all. But before we mix, let's have a drink. Cheers.
Cheers.
Those are dangerous.
They are dangerous.
Yeah. Any boozy drink that just tastes like lemonade is a problem.
Yeah. But I think so. Having that sit, that the limoncello has mellowed a little bit. I think. Are you making that face because of Teddy's gross costume?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we only salt and peppered the vinaigrette. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna taste it as it sits. Let's get a little broccoli here. And then
Okay, let's look at that bite you got there because it looks real good.
Where we go?
Perfect.
It's like a perfect bite. Okay. Oh yeah. That's really good.
Since you eat with your eyes first, that is a very vibrant, pretty
Very attractive.
pasta salad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a little salt and pepper. Not a ton, but just get a little spice in it up. Now you could add whatever kind of spices you want to this. I suppose a little Italian seasoning maybe, or
Obey.
Old Bay. If you wanted to add,
Love me some Old Bay.
now you could take some, if you wanted a protein in here, besides the, there is no protein in here, so don't listen to me. But you could add, maybe you could, do some bacon bits, something like that.
You could do chunk chicken and then it would be a dinner
Oh, yeah.
or a lunch.
That'll be really good. All right. Let's do this one more time.
You could do shrimp. Could you do shrimp? Big shrimp.
Look what we go. Oh yeah, I'm good. You want a bite? There you go. Sorry. I'm coming around.
Okay. Thanks.
That was a smooth move. I would have had the whole spoon on the floor.
No, I'm getting better at just moving around. What do you think? You must like it.
People can't see me nodding my head. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I would add 2 things:
What's that?
bacon bits and diced cheddar cheese.
I mean, Also imagine a little pasta salad, everyone.
Yeah, you can make it any way you want.
You could start with that. It is no and no, Terry says. It is good thing. I like the zest that with the vinegar and the lime juice, adding the acid to it, you get two different zings.
What if you added a little Dijon mustard to the dressing?
Well, yeah, that's what you would.
I mean, like you could take this in so many different directions depending on what you like, right?
Well, yeah, and that's what I was like with the Dijon mustard and a little honey. You make a honey Dijon vinaigrette, and that would be good. I mean, it would be still, it'd be a little bit thicker maybe, but it would still cover everything.
I don't need the honey, but I would like the Dijon.
Okay. Well, we did it.
Delish.
And a long episode. I don't know why, because I was chatting. But
you were chatting and chopping, and it's okay.
So very happy birthday, Carrie. Everybody say happy birthday again. Hopefully you had a good night. Did you get meatloaf and mashed potatoes for dinner, or what did you have for dinner tonight? Because that's one of his favorite things. Pasta salad, you can make it a million different ways with a million different pastas. If you combine pasta salad and antipasta, then the universe implodes. So that's a very good. So put that over there before I continue my drive. We love you very much. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you watched last week's. If not, go watch it right now. It's not that long. We love you. Remember, just be kind, be loyal, and really do something nice for somebody next week. We love you. See you next week.